gotta dig down deep. Mean what they say what they mean. The way I see, you might as well be me.
Some Stillwater spirit from the sorority sisters of Alpha Omicron Pi. And why not? It's the first Friday home football game for Oklahoma State since 1956. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Ram Trucks. Boone Pickens Stadium, a blackout tonight. They're expecting a sellout. And defending Big 12 champion Kansas State is in town. Anish Shroff alongside former Heisman winner Andre Ware. We'll hear from Paul Carcaterra in just a moment. When these two played last year in Manhattan, 48-0 K-State. Line of demarcation game for both programs. One went up, one went down.
Yeah, Kansas State, they saw it in recruiting. Had one of the best recruiting classes come in since Chris Klieman's been there in a very long time. And then for Oklahoma State, saw Spencer Sanders transfer, 50 new players on this roster, and they're still trying to figure it out.
Kansas State had to figure out, how do you replace a guy like Deuce Vaughn? Easy answer, ask UCF about this guy, DJ Giddens.
Yeah, they hit a home run with a next man up scenario with DJ Giddens averaging about 7 yards a carry against UCF a couple of weekends ago. A guy that can hit the home run. You think with his size at 6'1", 212, he's just going to truck everybody, but he can make you miss.
Alan Bowman back in the Big 12. He started his career with Texas Tech. Oklahoma State had a quarterback shuffle early on. Bowman is now the guy.
Yeah, he settled in nicely. He loves to throw the deep ball, hit on a couple of them in their last outing against Iowa State. The most consistent offensive football that this team has seen this season.
Bowman used to put up Andre Ware type numbers when he was a Red Raider. Oklahoma State and Kansas State. A little Friday night battle in the Big 12 coming up. From Stillwater, Oklahoma, you're watching the Big 12 on ESPN. Kansas State brands itself as an offensive line program, and Paul Carcaterra, it's not just one of the best units in the country, they've got one of the best offensive linemen in the country.
Absolutely, Anish. Tremendous pride from Kansas State when you talk about the offensive line. So we got to give the big boys up front some love, but their unquestioned leader is senior guard Cooper Beebe. Beebe is 6'4", 335 pounds. He's a technician who's mastered the fundamentals. The last time he allowed a sack, you'd have to go back 953 blocking snaps, and that was against Iowa in 2020. To add to this astonishing feat, he's only been flagged 4 times in his career, and the running game and Will Howard have flourished behind Beebe, and people have taken notice. ESPN's Mel Kiper has Cooper the top-rated guard in next year's NFL Draft.
And we will get to see Beebe and this offense right away. K-State won the toss, elected to receive. And Andre, this Wildcat team, they have started fast. A touchdown on the opening possession in every game.
And beaten only once this year by a Missouri team that kicked a field goal at 61 yards to beat them. Otherwise, they'd come in here undefeated. This is kind of picking up from where they left off last year after winning the Big 12.
Will Howard is the quarterback. He sends Phillip Brooks in motion. First down, it's DJ Giddens swarmed, and he might have lost a half yard. Last time out, Giddens put up close to 300 yards of total offense, 200 plus on the ground, 4 rushing touchdowns. He did something that was almost unprecedented in the history of Kansas State football.
And then you add the 8 catches for 86 yards. He complements this offense well. 3 down back is what Giddens is.
Will Howard does not have much room, and a 3rd and long coming up.
It's a good start for the defense of Oklahoma State and Colin Clay. But Will Howard, very smart player. It is his team, waited his time to become the starter. All of a sudden, Adrian Martinez got hurt last year. He stepped in, and this team didn't blink on its way to a Big 12 championship.
Oklahoma State brings pressure. Underneath route. And that will be well shy of the marker. Jaden Jackson, the transfer from Ole Miss, the reception. So 4 straight games. K-State started with a touchdown in the opening series. Today, with both teams coming off the bye, a 3-and-out.
And nice job by Corey Black in man-to-man coverage. He's their best cover man, the team's best cover man, and he's just a good, solid corner. They really look to him for leadership now in his senior year here at Oklahoma State.
Jack Bloomer punts it away. The dangerous Brennan Presley with a fair catch call inside his own 30, a 44-yard punt. Alan Bowman, the quarterback for Oklahoma State. He began his career at Texas Tech. When healthy, he put up numbers for the Red Raiders, just could not stay healthy. So after 3 years in Lubbock, he goes to Michigan, a backup for 2 years in Ann Arbor, now back in the Big 12. And Andre, for the first 3 games, Mike Gundy used 3 different quarterbacks, but Bowman, at least for now, is his guy.
Yeah, Mike Gundy treated it like the preseason. The first 3 games against Central Arkansas, Arizona State, and South Alabama, trying to find, basically iron out his depth chart.
Bowman's got time, fires underneath, he's got his tight end. That's Josiah Johnson out to about the 34-yard line.
He has really started to come on, zone coverage, turn that 1 and 6 back to the quarterback. And you're going to see a lot of tempo from both sidelines. Kansas State has sped up their approach offensively, and Oklahoma State, they can get rolling themselves.
Bowman, little RPO. It's Johnson, the tight end again, and makes his way for a first down. Andre, both teams missing key pieces when Oklahoma State has the ball. The Cowboys without one of their best receivers, Dejon Stribling, the Wazoo transfer. Kansas State without a starting corner, no Jacob Parrish today.
Yeah, and it kind of washes itself because both players are so important to their respective teams. They'll just have to, someone else will have to step up.
On the reverse, this is Presley. Last time out, only had 2 receptions. They want to get him about a dozen touches a game, and you can see why.
Yeah, and he's usually their 3rd down receiver. They love to go to him because he understands coverage, he understands how to get open, and he finishes.
It comes back to Bowman. He lets it fly, and incomplete. Johnson, an early target of Alan Bowman. So Mike Gundy goes to the reverse. Now the little reverse pass.
I wonder just if the wind is behind Bowman, because that ball intended for Johnson, it was thrown about 5 or 6 yards out of bounds. So the tight end had no chance of coming up with a reception.
Wind is blowing behind Bowman. 3rd down and 2.
This is where they love Presley. If they go to the air, look for number 80.
Instead, design QB run, and Bowman dives ahead. A first down with B.J. Payne flying in.
They'll give him a handful of these. And you watch the film against Iowa State. Very underrated runner is Alan Bowman. But just when you don't think you play man-to-man, you don't think he'll pull it down. He can hurt you with his legs. And that big frame at 6'4", 209.
Oklahoma State 2-2, coming off back-to-back losses before the bye. Fell to South Alabama at home. And then Iowa State on the road. And there's Bowman again showing off his legs, and he's out inside the 40. 2nd down and short. This is another shot opportunity for the Cowboys.
He got a great block from Preston Wilson working against Kobe Savage in the box, and if it weren't for the block of Wilson, he's going to get hit for no gain. It allowed him to turn up and pick up about 7, putting him in a short yardage situation here on 2nd down, where you can go up top if you need to.
Wide receivers come tight to the line. Bowman's got time underneath and incomplete. Now, one of the things Mike Gundy talked about early in the week, he said so much for Oklahoma State starts up front. He said the last game that they played was the first time he thought they protected well enough to really open up the passing game.
Yeah, he is, with all the changes in the game today, he is motivated more than ever now to take on a CEO type role in this program because you got to manage the transfer portal. You got all this stuff now, NIL.
Third down, there's Ollie Gordon. And he muscles ahead for a first down. Gordon coming off his best game of the season, 121 yards on the ground last time in the loss to Iowa State.
And he added 4 catches to that game. So you're talking about a guy that is expanding his role. He's the team's leading rusher, now starting to catch the ball out of the backfield, equally as impressive.
Kansas State showing blitz. Now they bring it. Bowman on the slant, completes to Bray. And an ankle tackle made by Keenan Garber, who's getting the start for Jacob Parrish.
And he's going to have to really grow up in a hurry. They moved him over from wide receiver during the Big 12 championship game, or the preparation practices for that game, and he just left him there. Came to camp, had an excellent camp, and just kept rolling. He's, as you mentioned, stepping in for Parrish tonight, and they're gonna pick on him. They'll go at him at times during this game.
It's his first career start at corner. Bowman on the slant, too high, wanted Presley in coverage. Marquise Siegel, the North Dakota State transfer.
They can play him there as well at corner on the other side, along with Will Lee the third. So they've got some depth there. It's just going to be tested as we get deeper and deeper into this game.
One of the things Kansas State has done well defensively this year, get in the backfield.
Yeah.
Amongst the national leaders in TFLs and sacks.
Well, they play that 3-3-5 themselves, and they can create a lot of exotic looks for an offensive line.
On the ground, and Gordon is gobbled up, and on cue, K-State's first TFL.
Austin Romaine, the true freshman, right in the middle of this K-State defense. He has played some impressive football. Came in at 6'2", about 235, added a few pounds, and he just sideline to sideline. The coaches love him. Still growing, but he has played solid football for them.
When the Wildcats lost sixth-year senior Daniel Green for the season, the salad days were effectively over for Austin Romaine, as Presley with a nice catch, and it sets up a first down for Oklahoma State inside the 15.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Look for Presley to come up with it. He is the 3rd down receiver, but the throw by Bowman outside, away from from Siegel, the coverman.
Presley in motion. Bowman slings it, and it's caught by Owens, and he is down inside the 5, all the way to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Oklahoma State. Impressive opening drive by the Pokes.
Well, if you hadn't seen a slant route in a while, turn on an Oklahoma State football game, because they have found something on film where they're just running slants against Kansas State. Could be something to keep an eye on throughout this game.
Now a fade, back of the end zone, broken up. That was Garber. They picked on him again. 2nd and goal, intended for Bray.
I had a feeling Garber's gonna, he's celebrating that one, but he's gonna have to be ready the entire game, because he's gonna get a lot of receivers rolled over to his side and challenged throughout most of this game. There he answers that challenge.
3 tight ends into the game for Oklahoma State on what is the 15th play of this drive.
We got Owens up top, and nobody's Presley up top, and finally there's a defensive back that goes out there.
Gordon charging, and in for the score.
Impressive drive by Oklahoma State, who has not scored a touchdown on its opening drive all season long. The Wildcats have, and in every game, this is the first game they haven't scored. The first, though, Anish, that Oklahoma State has gotten into the end zone.
You know, Susan, you can't predict football.
You get a pattern or something rolling along, and then all of a sudden people start talking about it like, this kicker, he's never missed it. And then all of a sudden, what happens? He misses.
Extra point attempt for Alex Hale. A perfect 10 of 10 on PATs this season.
You never count a team out coming off a bye week. You got extra time to get some extra reps, get creative. And this is just flat out Oklahoma State and Mike Gundy, who wants to run the football a little bit more.
And Andre, especially when you're a team with so many new faces, new pieces, still trying to find your identity.
I thought it was a unique situation how he used the preseason, the first 3 games as the preseason. He could get, guys in order. Who's going to be? How do I iron out the pecking order in my depth chart?
15 plays, 72 yards on the Cowboys' first drive of the game. Ollie Gordon stamps it with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
Might as well be me.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. Legendary status, no one does it better. So pay attention, eyes on me. Pay attention, watch and see. Did I mention I like the attention? Watch it right now. Watch it right now.
What will you fall in love with at American Furniture Warehouse? During our Fall Into Savings event, we've got showrooms full of special purchases. Every one of these items is in stock and ready to bring home today. Browse any of our gorgeous showrooms or shop online at afw.com.
Saturday in Dallas, the Red River rivalry game. Oklahoma and Texas. This is the first time since 2011 when both teams are undefeated heading into the showdown. Who do you got, Andre?
I got Texas in that one. I think they've been battle tested. Go ahead with a trip to Tuscaloosa and beating Alabama on the road. Oklahoma just really hadn't played anyone on that schedule that impresses me.
When we take a look at our player to watch, brought to you by Dave and Buster's. We're going to see Ben Sinnott line up everywhere. He is their Da Vinci and cleats, the Renaissance man.
He's the difference maker in this offense. He can line up as a tight end, as a fullback, inline tight end, move tight end. A lot of versatility in this young man. He can run it if you hand it off to him, but they would prefer to throw and catch with him.
He's been one of the most productive tight ends, if you want to label him, so far in college football. Will Howard to the air, pressure coming, and
guess who?
Ben Sinnott makes our producer, Chris Damiani, look like a genius.
Nice job in terms of the route and then finishing it with the catch. Very sure-handed player as well at 6'4", 245. It's amazing to me that, how much and where they use blocking at fullback and then obviously at tight end.
On the ground, Giddens. And can't quite get the corner, but the second effort may have gotten him the first down.
I think so.
It did.
When you look at Giddens, the way, his measurables say that he's going to challenge you, and he will challenge defenders, but he's so shifty at 6'1", 212 as well. And then he's got a gear. He can go the distance on you if you give him a crack a day like.
Chris Kleiman has evolved as a head coach since coming over from North Dakota State. Howard moves the pocket, launches deep downfield, intercepted, picked off by Cameron Epps.
Just a product of watching the receiver and not seeing the middle of the field. And Cameron Epps playing center field for the Cowboys, reading the eyes of Will Howard. He's going to get the ball back for the Cowboys with a 7-0 lead.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. Legendary status, no one does it better. So pay attention, eyes on me. Pay attention, watch and see. Did I mention I like the attention?
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. Now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months or up to $1,500 total savings on the Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks.
Pretty good list and lineage of running backs to come through Manhattan, Kansas. Deuce Vaughn last year, and DJ Giddens looks like he might have a chance to be the next great one.
Just this running style, upright. He's a special player.
So after the interception, Oklahoma State takes over just inside its own 30.
Looking as though they're getting ready to bring a blitz off the slot receiver Presley here.
They do bring that nickel blitz. It's a run play, and that's Jaden Nixon spun down after a gain of about 5.
Gentlemen, Oklahoma State wide receiver Brendan Presley told me this week there's been an adjustment, not in a bad way, playing with 3 quarterbacks. He said the timing of their throws, what they like to throw, how many steps they like when they drop back, and how the ball actually feels all play a factor. He told me, actually, Andre, I want to hear your thoughts on this. He knows who's throwing the ball, even if he had his eyes closed, just the way it feels when it hits his hands.
Yeah, one guy may throw with touch, another one's throwing a fastball. It's always different.
Bowman going deep for Presley, and he can't hold on. Coverage there by Siegel.
It's a heck of a throw and one heck of an attempt at coming up with it by Presley, but even better is the coverage on the back end. And this is what Bowman likes to do. He will push the ball down the field. Now, he is not shy about wanting to throw the deep ball. It's a pretty dang good throw there right into the hands of Presley.
Presley, their best playmaker at the receiver position. He's in motion. On the ground, and there's Kansas State eating in the backfield. It'll bring up a 4th down. Desmond Purnell, the linebacker, got in there first.
Yeah, nice job of reading, and then once it opened up, he just shot through the gap. And unaccounted for, it looked as though Preston Wilson may have missed a block on Purnell, and he made him pay.
Wes Powell to punt it away, and Phillip Brooks, who has 4 career punt return touchdowns, waits at the 25. Fair catch called for and made at the 24. A 42-yard kick. K-State 3 and out and a turnover on their first 2 drives. Back at it. Chris Kleiman now in his 5th season at K-State. Last year, a banner year. Big 12 champions. They knocked off TCU in the Big 12 title game. Played in the Sugar Bowl. 3 AP top 10 wins. Huge. Started this year in the preseason top 15. First down, Giddens, who carried 30 times last week, gets the call. And Andre, when you think of what Chris Kleiman did at North Dakota State, 4 titles in 5 years as head coach, won a few more titles as an assistant there. He told us he had to change his philosophy a little bit. He uses odd man fronts now, which he said, I never did at North Dakota State. They go no huddle now, which he never used to do.
Sign of a good football coach that's willing to adapt and change with the times.
This time it's Oklahoma State getting in the backfield, a loss of 2. Nicholas Martin, the linebacker, and it's 3rd down.
This is something that they went to work on during the bye week, was stopping the run. It's also something they told us that they needed to do with 6- and 7-man boxes, or guys in the box, rather than having to load it up to stop the run. And that's they are well on their way. Brian Nardo, their new defensive coordinator, got to be happy with the job they're doing right now.
They bring 4. Howard downfield, incomplete. Good coverage by Epps. He wanted Brooks. Epps last week got his first career start, or I should say last game, and he struggled, Andre. He's looked a lot better tonight.
Yeah, he really has. And I tell you what, every player on the back end, because they gave away some big plays down the field in that last matchup against Iowa State. So here, 3 possessions, they've turned the Wildcats away. And you think they're not reminiscing a little bit, or did before the game on that 48-0 game from last year?
Everybody tried to downplay it past week.
I can guarantee you Mike Gundy was talking about it.
It's a 45-yard punt by Bloomer. Kickoff your Week 5 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown crew. They'll have all the early breaking stories, all the injury updates, previews of each game. A lot of chatter leading up to San Francisco, Dallas. It feels like the 90s again, doesn't it?
That's going to be a really, really good football game.
Brock Purdy is
Niners.
efficient.
Where's that game? Is it in Dallas? San Francisco? Anybody going to stand on the star?
T.O. did it.
Yep.
Christian McCaffrey playing like an MVP right now. First down, Ollie Gordon slams right into that K-State phalanx, picks up 2.
I'll tell you what, Desmond Purnell is playing like his hair is on fire. Reading blocks, letting them set themselves, and then he is exploding to the ball carrier. Not real big at 5'11", but boy, does he pack a big punch. Local kid that he just plays hard. Plays hard all the time and is a great run stopper.
On second down, Bowman moves the pocket. He'll run and gets upended out of bounds. No flag. It'll bring up a 3rd down, a gain of 4. It was Siegel making the tackle by the sideline.
Oh, and Purnell was giving chase there, but he took out the tight end who was assigned to block him, Josiah Johnson, who might actually have to spend a little time on the sideline after that last collision with Purnell.
And when you think of Bowman's injury history, it gives you a pause. Let's bring in our rules analyst, Matt Austin. Matt, anything illegal or late from your end?
You know, it's definitely borderline. The quarterback has not stepped out of bounds yet, so he's still legally hit. He was still going north and south. He hadn't totally given himself up, so I'm good with a no call.
3rd down, Bowman to the air. Underneath, Rashad Owens with a 1st down.
Boy, so hard to cover are the shallow crossers. I mean, almost impossible to cover a guy across the field when he's crossing, because you're always going to be in trail technique. And if you have a quarterback that is accurate and keeps the ball in front of receivers, you can make a mint in terms of production.
And when teams play the 3-3-5, you got to pick up those crosses and slants. They force you to work your way downfield. We've seen Oklahoma State do it once today. Ollie Gordon straight up the gut. Can they catch him? Almost Ollie Oxen free.
Unbelievable block by Preston Wilson. And right guard just kind of closes that thing down and pulls around. I think it's Gordon with a vision. It's closed on the front side where Wilson kind of pulls that thing up, and it allows the backside cut.
Now some tempo. They'll throw it back to Bowman. Tried to make the defender miss, and he is flung down at the 21, a gain of 4. Mott, one of the DNs, made the tackle. Mike Gundy and this offense have gotten into their bag of tricks a few times.
Well, they have, and you're basically going to exert every option you have trying to win this football game. So trick plays, all of it's coming out here early from Mike Gundy and his bunch.
Casey Dunn, the offensive coordinator. You get a bye week, Andre. Get time to practice it.
All that stuff, you see it against, other teams have used it against Kansas State, and it's worked. Guess what? It's going into, we're going to call it something, and it's going into the game plan.
On second down, the give is to Gordon. And he runs right into resistance, only a yard. So 3rd down coming up as we come up on less than a minute now here in this opening quarter.
Palmer with the stop there. Reserve linebacker in the game for Romaine. What, it's been an impressive first quarter by Oklahoma State. Taking the ball, the very first drive of the game, went right down the field and able to put it in the end zone. And here they are again, their third drive of the game, knocking on the door of the red zone.
7th play of the drive, Wildcats show blitz.
Look for Presley here, third down. That's who they love to go to.
They'll bring 6. Bowman running downfield and incomplete in the direction of Blaine Green. So 4th down, and Alex Hale will come on.
And Bo Palmer with the pressure again, flushing Alan Bowman off his mark. And he was looking to go to Presley on a shallow cross. I mean, that's just tough to stop. Ask Colorado if shallow crossers are hard to stop. When they played Oregon, that's all they ran,
yeah.
Shallow cross.
Especially if you've got guys like Presley. Hale in his career, 16 of 17 inside 40, high snap, but a flag comes in.
And if this is against Kansas State, make it 4th down and short and then a decision time. Well, no, it's not.
5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
All it's going to do is make it a longer field goal attempt here. With Kel Smith, he can, excuse me, that's again looking at the
Alex Hale.
Alex Hale. He's good from about 57 or so and in, so they have no problem, no hesitation lining him up for field goals.
So now this becomes a 43-yarder. And Hale puts it through. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the school's general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State. Kansas State has not won in Stillwater since 2017. Chris Kleiman has not won in Stillwater since becoming the Wildcats head coach. He didn't make too much of it this past week, but you look at the score. Oklahoma State up 10-0.
Boys from Stillwater got a little bit to say about that. You're not going to come in our house and do us like you did us last year. And they are off to a pretty good start. Turnover already in this ball game by Will Howard. He's usually pretty secure with the football and just going to make it a tough football game for Kansas State.
Sellout crowd at Boone Pickens on a Friday night. 4 seconds remain in the opening quarter.
Been impressed with the Oklahoma State so far?
Especially the defense. A chance for Brooks. And he gets knocked at the 17-yard line. And now we get a penalty from the far side of the field.
During the return, holding, number 15 in the return team. After this is from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Butu with that big hit.
It brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Oklahoma State up 10-0 on the reigning Big 12 champs.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. Legendary status, no one does it better. So pay attention, eyes on me. Whoa, pay attention, watch and see. Did I mention I like the attention? Watch it right now, watch it right now. Watch it right now.
Hi, I'm Jake Jabs. Here are 10 reasons why American Furniture Warehouse can sell for less. We're a privately held company. We're family owned. No big bonuses or big executives. We own our own buildings. We have no debts. We do our own trucking, which saves 15% on freight. Customers recommend us, saves on advertising costs. Low customer returns, we do a huge volume. We sell furniture for less, we sell more furniture. Imagine that.
Coach, you told me this week you knew this would be a tough place to play on a Friday night. What's been the biggest challenge thus far?
Well, the environment's great, but we got to be better at the line of scrimmage. That's the bottom line, and we talked about it. When we've played here, we haven't played as well at the line of scrimmage. We've got to increase that. We've got to get off the football, both sides of the ball, and then we got to tighten up our coverage. We're playing a little soft.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Well, they get 7 on first down. Treshaun Ward, Florida State transfer. He's now healthy, did not play in the last game, was a little banged up. And when you look at the opening quarter, count that first play, Oklahoma State more than 100 yards of total offense. And that one is complete. It's R.J. Garcia, the sophomore from Tampa, another player for Kansas State who had time to heal during the bye week.
Yeah, and he saw some time as a true freshman last year, but he has grown up, and now in his sophomore year, you get him in space, and that's where a guy like R.J. Garcia can really flourish. Short yardage situation here. Will Howard underneath. Expect quarterback sneak here to pick this up.
Sinnett's the fullback. They keep it on the ground. It's Ward. And a patient run to the 25 for a first down.
And a nice block by Cooper Beebe to kick out and give Ward the necessary hole to cut it back. Just following number 50 back in there, and all he's got to do is wall off a guy. Doesn't need to throw a knockout punch.
Now there's Ward again, and he's giving this run game a little spark.
We were talking during the break, commercial break, and if I'm seeing 3-3-5, I'm running the football. And that's exactly what Kansas State, Chris Kleiman, Colin Klein, they've decided to do. Bring in Treshaun Ward along with DJ Giddings and run the ball.
Ward goes out wide. Now Howard, quarterback power, gets free. Will Howard down the sideline. Can they catch him? Reaching. Touchdown! 71 yards by the QB.
Unbelievable run. They run the quarterback with counter, and he just waits on the pullers to get there. They're able to seal everything out in front of Will Howard. They pull 73 around Christian Duffy, and then there's a big hole. Can he outrun Kendall Daniels to the end zone, who's got an angle, but just can't get there? He's reviewing this to see if he indeed, he may be on the inch line.
Every play in college football is reviewable. Matt Austin, our rules analyst, with us. And Matt, when that left arm goes down, we're looking at the football. Conclusive for you?
Absolutely. I think his
really
left knee, left hip, left hand all hit with the ball about a foot short of the goal line. So I would expect this to be overturned and put it short.
Matt, we're 2 for 2 in agreement. I agree with you again. I think it's going to be just shy. And I think when the arm and the elbow hits, the knee hits as well. So at that point, Anisha becomes, where's the football? And it's clearly, in my eyes, not touching the goal line. How about the run, though, of Will Howard?
Okay, so you played the position. You ran wing T in high school. When you go for a long run like that, be honest, how many plays does it take after to get your hair back?
It takes a while, which is why I hated trying to run the football. Because from a passing, especially from a passing offense, because you need to be settled in. You're breathing hard. Can't read defenses because you're so tired. And I think this one's going to come back to about just inside the 1 yard line.
So when
After
you get
further
to college,
review, the runner's arm was down at the 1/2 yard line of possession of the ball. First down for K-State, the 1/2 yard line.
Oh, by the time I got to the University of Houston, I totally switched from wanting to run to just wanting to throw and not wanting to run.
Wait, so I don't have to do this anymore?
Let me just give it to somebody else. Occasionally, though, when we got down inside the red zone, I didn't mind pulling it down then, but what Will Howard just did, no thank you.
70-yard run for Will Howard. He had 125 rushing yards a few years ago against Oklahoma State. Howard, little tush push. No signal.
I'm not sure he got there, so it's going to bring up second down. Whatever you do and you're down in this end of the field, find number 50. He's going to get tremendous push. He's going to open up a hole for you. He's your best offensive lineman. That's where I'm going in the run game, behind big number 50.
Cooper Beebe, the reigning Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year.
Comes from some pretty good stock, too. His dad played at Pittsburgh State. His brother, Colton, played at Minnesota.
Brooks in motion, second and goal. Howard still has it. Back of the end zone, wide open. Ben Sinnott, touchdown, K-State.
Phillip Brooks almost put his hand in the cookie jar. Nice catch, though, by Sinnott. And a heck of a throw by Howard, but Brooks thought it was intended for him and was reaching for it. If he gets a fingertip on that, with Sinnott being so wide open, I got to believe it's going to be reflected, but he missed it. Nice job with the protection, and Sinnott's wide open in the back of the end zone.
Did you see Brooks's reaction as soon as the alligator
trying to put his hands in his pocket real quick.
The extra point by Chris Tennant is good. Kansas State gets on the board. It was set up by a 70-yard quarterback run by Will Howard, and then Howard to Sinnott for 6.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. Legendary status, no one does it better. So pay attention, eyes on me. Pay attention, watch and see. Did I mention I like the attention? Watch it right now. Watch it right now.
Hi, I'm Jake Jabs. Here are 10 reasons why American Furniture Warehouse can sell for less. We're a privately held company. We're family owned. No big bonuses or big executives. We own our own buildings. We have no debts. We do our own trucking, which saves 15% on freight. Customers recommend us. Saves on advertising costs. Low customer returns. We do a huge volume. We sell furniture for less. We sell more furniture. Imagine that.
Can you throw me a ball? Appreciate it. Big day for you, man. Believe it. Believe it. Yo. Hey, I love you, man. I love you. Hey, let's dominate this place. Dominate. Believe it. Believe it. Hey, like I told these guys, what we want tonight starts in our heads. Believe it. Start speaking and see it. Let's go. Attack on 3. 1, 2, 3.
K-State center Hayden Gillum, and from freshman walk-on to sixth-year senior captain, he is one of 3 former walk-ons to currently serve as captain at K-State.
Yeah, this program used to be, when Bill Snyder was here, junior college players, walk-on players, and he was able to build it and sustain it for a long period of time. So Hayden Gillum, one heck of a job in that drive for Kansas State. I guess the word this year in all of college football is believe. Heard it a lot coming out of Colorado. Do you believe? And in that sound we just heard from Hayden, a lot of believe in that one.
If it was a Taylor Swift song, it would just tie the universe together at this point. Jaden Bray dropped it wide open, and he dropped it.
Trying to run before you catch it, young man. Secure that baby first, and usually pretty sure-handed. Leads the team in terms of receptions and receiving yards. good football player. Just let that one get away from him.
Screen pass, Green. And he snakes his way out to the 35-yard line. He might have it.
He's close to the first down mark. Heck of a high school program, Allen, Texas. Where Kyler Murray went. The largest high school in the state of Texas. You get a lot of players to choose from at Allen High School.
It is enough for a first down.
The enrollment there's like over 6,000.
They're the one, right? They've got the the indoor facility.
And they've got it all.
Bowman's got time and has to feather that out of bounds.
Yeah,
Second down.
Max protecting there, Anish, and only 2 receivers were out in the route. Lane Green and then another receiver at the top of the screen. Shetron at the top.
Talon Shetron's a guy that they have high hopes for.
He's young, but boy, they think he is the next great receiver here at Oklahoma State.
Another RPO, go back to the outside, and it's Bray. And he's about a yard shy of the line to gain. 3rd and 1.
Well, I must be in a time machine tonight. Guys are throwing slants. They're throwing hitches. All the routes that I say are just have gone away. I mean, and they still work. Soft coverage. You're just going to throw a hitch. And when they start playing up on it or biting up on it, that's when you throw hitch and goes, slant and goes, out and ups.
There was a fan before the game who said, Andre, can you still throw it? You can tonight, right?
I can throw a 6-yard hitch.
Orbit motion from Green. Handoff is to Gordon, and he's going to be a little short. He needed the 45. 4th down, what do you do?
Man, you're going for it here if you're Mike Gundy. You're close to midfield. Your defense is playing well. Leave them out there. You're running the ball with some consistency, and as I say that, he trusts the punter on the field.
Well, they've got into the trick play bag multiple times tonight. Are you ruling out a fake?
Yeah, because they have the lead, and I just thought when you're trying to win and a team put it on you like they did last year, boy, he is awfully short, though.
They do fake it, and they get it.
Excellent. You can see the punter line up very shallow. It's usually 13 to 15 yards or so deep, and he is really, really shallow, so that should have been an alert for Kansas State. He's about 10 yards or so deep, and that should have been an alert for Kansas State that it was a fake.
Elijah Collins, yeah, the big power back. Michigan State transfer picks it up. K-State showing blitz. Now Bowman wants to slow it down.
And they're going to check out of it.
And with the play clock winding down, a timeout called by Oklahoma State. 8:57 to go, first half. New set of downs for the Cowboys.
Our Friday night spotlight comes way of New South Wales, Australia. Cowboy kicker and former walk-on Alex Hale. Alex carries a 4.0 GPA in graduate school studying applied exercise science. His true love back home, though, was the ocean, often spending his days surfing and most notably wake skating. As a wake skater, he claimed the Under-19 World Championship in Abu Dhabi. Prior to his arrival in Stillwater, gentlemen, never played football. He was a soccer player growing up and loved to kick the ball just for fun with his dad, who was a rugby player. And here he is in Stillwater making plays.
Yeah, he's got a field goal tonight. Jaden Nixon picking up 5. Can you surf or wake skate, Andre?
Let me tell you this. This will answer your question. I'm in no body of water unless it has a cement bottom. So that will answer. No, I cannot surf.
Reach into the choir.
I don't long to surf. Not interested in surfing. That part of my life is over.
Kark has seen me in the pool, and I have trouble staying afloat. Bowman, there's another deep slam. Here's Bray. Broken tackle. And he gets all the way inside the 5. They'll mark him out at the 2.
Teach Bray to put that ball in his outside hand, but I'm nitpicking. It's one heck of a play by the youngster, the redshirt sophomore from Norman, Oklahoma. Was that slant, dropped one earlier, made up for it, and then now turns the next opportunity into a huge play for Oklahoma State.
A gain of 45 for Bray, his longest catch of the season. And now 3 tight ends for Oklahoma State.
Keep an eye on Presley.
And Bowman wants a timeout.
Second charge. Time out of the hat. Oklahoma State. 30 seconds.
We'll take 1-2. First and goal, Pokes on the other side. Monday Night Football this week. It's the Packers and the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo has cleared concussion protocol, expected to start. Pack coming off a home loss to Detroit last time out. Oklahoma State knocking at the door. They've got a first and goal from the 2. Ollie Gordon is turned back.
I'm telling you, this freshman can play. Austin Romaine can play. Not on my watch. I mean, and just sorting through everything, finding, and then you end up one-on-one with pretty good ball carrier, and you win the battle.
Romaine, a true freshman, stepping in with the season-ending injury to captain Daniel Green. Back to Gordon, hitting the backfield, and he is swarmed at the 5-yard line. So there's another TFL for K-State. It's 3rd and goal.
Kansas State, hey, you got to find another way to get in this end zone because it's not going to be on the ground. And Savage, one-on-one with a larger man in Gordon, and he's able to get him on the ground. Winning in the trenches. That's what Chris Klieman prides himself and his program on, not just the offensive line, but on the defensive side as well.
Presley in motion. The give is to Gordon. And he won't get there. 4th down and goal. And I don't think you're close enough where you think about going for it. And Savage again with the tackle.
Well, you've unsuccessfully run it 3 times, and it's been the same result. Shy of the goal line. Actually, you've gone backwards. So, and you think it's going to change just because it's 4th down? No, kick the field goal and take the points.
You hold Oklahoma State to 3 here. That's a big momentum swing if you're Kansas State.
After that catch and run by Jaden Bray.
A 21-yard kick. It's blocked.
What a stand by Kansas State.
Marquise Siegel, the North Dakota State transfer, the former Bison with a Z, with a blocked kick. K-State with a goal line stand, and then a field goal block to keep Oklahoma State off the board.
Yeah, Kansas State stepping up, and you're going to see Siegel come right off the corner, gets all of it. Kansas State with a ball and an opportunity to, at the very least, go down and tie this thing up.
A goal line stand and a blocked field goal, and K-State now has the ball from its own 16. They kept the Cowboys off the board. Giddens gets the call on 1st down, and he's forced down after a short pickup.
Nice job of coming up and run support by Nicholas Martin, who has been as good as advertised. The redshirt sophomore from Texarkana, Texas.
Giddens ran for 207 last time. Tonight, 5 carries, 9 yards. Gets the call again. Now he's got an opening. His best run of the night goes for a first down.
I just love the way his running style, kind of upright, nice stride, and then he can certainly put a move or two on you and make you miss.
Who does he remind you of?
I hate to go there, but it's almost like an Eric Dickerson type style.
Over the middle, big hit at midfield, incomplete. Oakley, the tight end. A flag at the end of the play, and we might have targeting here. Cameron Epps delivered the hit. Epps starting at safety for the injured Lyric Rawls today.
I'm wondering if it's just not unsportsmanlike conduct because you're standing over him or taunting. Because after the hit, he kind of let him know it, and that's what I think may have gotten the attention of the official. I don't think it's targeting by the letter of the rule.
Yeah, there was no indicator. And there's a long conference in midfield.
Hits him kind of on the side of his shoulder pads, which is what jars the tight end open.
Matt Austin. Matt, what are they looking at here? Well, we may find out here first.
There's no foul in the play. Incomplete pass. Second down.
Yeah, when you watch the replay, Matt, it didn't look to be anything flagrant.
No, it didn't. In live action, I was worried that it was targeting, but I do think most of the contact here is to the upper chest area. The helmet might get into the runner's or the receiver's helmet, but I don't think that's enough for targeting, so I think this is a good no call.
Yeah, he doesn't really lower his head.
You know, Matt and I are perfect tonight in agreements with one another.
Second down and 10. Will Howard tonight, 4 of 7, only 11 yards. He's got the interception. And Giddens, again, didn't seem like much initially. Turns it into 5 yards.
You were asking me that. It's just that running style. High knees of Eric Dickerson. I think ED was right around 6'2"-ish. Giddens is about 6'1". And he just kind of exposes it, but you never really hit him solid. The entire week of watching film on him, never saw him get, just waylaid because of the high pad level. And Eric was the same exact way.
Against three-man pressure, Howard looking to run, and they get him. It's Martin. But there is a flag down back of the 26.
And Taylor Portier is in the game. I think he's going to get called for a hold.
Holding. Offense. Number 69. Penalty is Klein. 4th down.
Third sack of the season for Nicholas Martin.
He's in at right guard, and it was at the very end. Number 69 gets called for it right at the end of the play.
Portier and
that I saw the hold, though. It was just a nice little takedown.
That's one of the areas where K-State will rotate a little bit. Right guard, Panzer and Portier. Presley, fair catch call and made at the 20, a 47-yard punt. And now a quick word from Verbo.
A place to reunite with your actual family of 5 and your chosen family of 105,213. Verbo. Football away, baby.
So you're basically telling me she'd rather be at the football game. Just that look told it all.
Told it all. Alan Bowman started his career at Texas Tech. Had a 600-yard game there in 2018. 3 years there, a lot of injuries. Finds Josiah Johnson, the tight end, in the flat, and Johnson's been a target early. There is a flag down.
Could be a face mask tacked onto this. So there was a defender working right around the face mask of Josiah Johnson. It's good to see him back in the game.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 16 of the offense.
Oh, boy.
15 yards from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
They call it on Johnson. Yeah. You rarely see it called against the offense, but if you stiff arm, well, yeah, you got to call that. And I think they might have missed the targeting by VJ Payne, who leads with his helmet and makes contact with the crown of his helmet on Josiah Johnson. So replay actually can take a look at that.
A replay can initiate a targeting review from the booth. So that negates almost all of what was a 15-yard pickup. Ollie Gordon looking for the edge.
Heck of a run.
And he's got a first down across the 30. Siegel, another stop.
A penalty that brings it all back, and then one run by Gordon. Excellent job as well by the offensive line, pulling around and in front of him to open up a nice hole on the edges.
You got 3 minutes and change. Oklahoma State with one timeout. And the Cowboys get the ball first in the second half. Quick throw. Gray. And they have been living on plays like that all night. Hitches, slants, drags, relying on the run after catch.
You've documented well. Parrish is out of the lineup, and so Garber's in, but playing soft coverage, and they're just taking what's in front of them right now.
Bowman loads up. Launches. Completes to Owens. And Oklahoma State back inside the 15 of K-State. A gain of 45.
Had his first touchdown catch of the season in their last game against Iowa State. And this one gets behind coverage. It's the throw that wins up over the top. Nice job by Rashad Owens, redshirt junior, bringing that baby in and then finishing down the field.
The 3 catches for Owens, one off a career high, had 4 catches all season coming into the game. The 65 yards tonight is a career high.
And that touchdown catch he had last week, it was the only catch he had in that game. 1 for 20 for a touchdown.
2 tight ends here in the game. Bowman toward the sideline, too high for Presley.
We got a flag down here, which may be an ineligible player down the field. So it's going to be Dalton Cooper.
Ineligible player downfield. Number 66 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
This is an O-line that has had a chance to get healthy over the last few weeks.
The center is the guy they call it on. I apologize to Dalton Cooper. Well, it's been impressive, the job that Oklahoma State's done here in the first half. 10-7 lead and threatening to score again here.
They'll use a little wildcat here. And now a flag.
This one's on Cooper. Nope.
Ball start. Offense. Number 0. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Like Gordon may have started early or approaching the line of scrimmage or took a step. The lineman just turned around and like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Let's get this baby snapped.
And now they bring Bowman back in to take the shotgun snap.
A double stack formation.
Bowman will run and surrenders to the earth.
I think this was a designed quarterback draw. Let everything kind of work itself out. Let DBs backpedal and turn and go with receivers. And then the offensive line released down the field, which kind of is the indicator. And Bowman goes with him. But he stumbles, and there's nothing there for him.
Jaden Nixon comes in at running back. He's split wide. He is dangerous in space. Bowman looking underneath, and that is juggled and incomplete. Wanted Johnson again. And with 1:05 to go in the first half, 3rd and 19, Oklahoma State. Let's check in with Matt in the studio.
And coming up on the Boost Infinite halftime report, keys to an Oklahoma upset, their big one against Texas, plus we're mulling it over who won the September Heisman. And Illinois on the field tonight against Nebraska. They pay tribute to the late, great Dick Putness. Dan Mullen, Sam Acho join me coming up on the Boost Infinite Halftime Report.
I like that, the September Heisman.
You're part of the Heisman fraternity. Let's name that after Geno Smith.
There you go. September Heisman winners.
Injured K-State player is Will Lee. Now, he's one of their starting cornerbacks. Last year, a first-team junior college All-American. And remember, the other starting corner, Jacob Parrish, is out today.
Yeah, and they were basically thin coming in. And next up would be Justice James, a transfer from Tyler Junior College, if they can't get Garber back.
We were told you could see Siegel slide from safety to corner. Colby McAllister can play both corner and safety. Daniel Cobbs, another name potentially. And number 5 is Justice James. He's got the helmet on. He's got pretty good bloodlines. Quandre Diggs and Quentin Jammer, both cousins of his.
Coached in the secondary by Van Malone. He's their cornerback coach. He's had a few stops, SMU being one, and made his way now to Manhattan, Kansas. He's a really good corner coach. Played at the University of Texas. I played against him at Texas.
Kark.
And Keenan Garber's another one of those corners. He's out on the field right now. He was a wide receiver up until late in his junior season, number 1 in white. And there were so many injuries last year that they moved him to corner the week of the Big 12 championship. He played 35 snaps, and he's out there again.
Cobbs and James out there as well. On the ground here to Nixon. And slicing and dicing his way to the 17-yard line.
He's trying to get the ball back in a favorable position to kick this field goal.
Kansas State.
Kansas State calls a timeout. Last time Oklahoma State got down inside the 20, K-State came up with a goal line stand and blocked the field goal. Oklahoma State back down here. If you're the Cowboys, you've outplayed Kansas State for the vast majority of this first half.
And you're going to get the football first out of the locker room. So it's one of those bonus possessions here at the end of the first half where you're trying to nail down this field goal attempt here on 4th and 14 and carry some momentum into the locker room. Kansas State takes the timeout to stop the clock and try to get a bonus possession of their own, maybe go down and add some points before the end of the first half.
I think that's the danger if you're Oklahoma State. Let's say you get 3 here. You've outgained Kansas State by a margin of more than 2-1. Yet the scoreboard, only a 1-score game.
You don't want to get 3 and give up 7.
Hale from 34 puts it through. His second field goal of the night. It's 13-7, 55 seconds to go in the half. Kansas State with 2 timeouts. And now a quick word from Dr. Pepper.
Students ages 18 to 24, here's an assignment. Apply for the Dr. Pepper tuition giveaway by October 11th. Visit drpeppertuition.com for information on how to enter for a chance to compete to win $100,000 in tuition.
Well, Kansas State, it has not been a pretty first half offensively. They had the goal line stand. They got the blocked field goal, otherwise the margin would be a lot wider. But the Wildcats get a chance here with 2 timeouts. Now they go no huddle quite a bit. And remember, with less than 2 minutes to go in the half, a first down will momentarily stop the clock.
Yeah, they've had some moments, though. That Will Howard 70-yard run, and then they were able to finally get themselves into the end zone. But you're right. I think Oklahoma State's played the better half or the best half of football.
Fair catch called for, so K-State brings that out to the 25. Saturday, it is the Red River rivalry game. Matt and the crew will have a full breakdown coming up at halftime. One of the things to watch, Oklahoma with Brent Venables, 10 picks on the season, tops in the nation. Quinn Ewers has only thrown 1 interception, and according to our All-State playoff predictor, the team that wins increases its odds considerably of being in that final group.
I like Texas in this game. I like what they've done going to Tuscaloosa and winning that one.
Empty set on first down. Howard throws deep downfield and incomplete for Jackson.
Jaden Jackson, the transfer from Ole Miss. He's got excellent speed, and they're trying to get it in a hurry with 50 seconds left and 2 timeouts and get that drive starter working, or just hit Oklahoma State right in the nose on the first play.
Will Howard has thrown for at least 250 yards in the first 4 games. Only 11 pass yards in the first half. It's Giddens, and he gets out of bounds. Third down coming up. Didn't get very far. No gain.
Might have actually lost a half yard or got right back to the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 here. And I'm Mike Gundy. I may keep that last time out right in my hand and get ready to call it here as we try to get something cheap if you're able to stop Kansas State on 3rd down.
Howard's pass intercepted. It's Epps again. Pick 6.
Mix up with a route to Phillip Brooks. Will Howard thought he was running an out. Brooks turned it up the field. The ball was already in the air, and Cameron Epps, who's played some first half for Oklahoma State, was right there and turns it into a pick 6. I mean, it's clear that there was a miscommunication on that out route. Brooks turns it up. Epps is right there when he does, and the ball was already thrown.
It's the second interception of the first half for Epps. Last week, or last game against Iowa State, he played 66 snaps. It was his first career start. If you watched the game, he got picked on. He had his struggles.
Second career interception, and both have happened tonight.
So when we talked to Mike Gundy, he talked about the bye week and getting guys the reps they needed. You got a young player. You got extra time. You learn from that first start being thrown into the fire. No Lyric Rawls today. Epps comes in. Boy, has he played a big first half.
And on the flip side of that, you got a lot of experience at quarterback at Will Howard.
Yeah.
Which is why Chris Kleiman, instead of just getting to the half, called the timeout before the field goal to save some time for his quarterback, thinking, hey, he's going to take care of the football. Usually he's pretty secure in doing that. The last thing you're thinking is that he's going to throw a pick 6 here before the half.
Epps, the redshirt freshman from St. Louis. Howard, only 5 of 10 for 11 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, and a sack in the first half. And this will be fair caught, so K-State will have it at the 25.
You know, this week when we spoke to Brian Nardo, the DC at Oklahoma State, he said Cameron Epps, the redshirt freshman, had an amazing week of practice. 7 interceptions this week was his total. Who was playing quarterback? Not Andre Ware.
No.
The other part of it, Andre, Brian Nardo, 37 years old, was the D coordinator at Division II Gannon University. It's his first year with Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy told us, hey, there's an adjustment period for the D coordinator as well. The bye week also helps someone like Nardo.
I'll tell you what, you go back to Cameron Epps, he was a corner at this point last year, moved to safety, and he has just got excellent cover skills.
Second charge.
Timeout K-State after the first down run by Trayshawn Ward.
And so we're watching him on full display tonight. 2 big interceptions, and obviously the second one leading to points for Oklahoma State.
And Mike Gundy has had a lot of success with small school assistants before. Sean Gleason, Mike Yursich, and he found Brian Nardo and was looking for someone who knew the 3-3-5 scheme, a defensive scheme that has become popular in this conference because of the success Iowa State started having a few years ago.
Shap Boyd from Erskine College in South Carolina is where he learned it. And that's who taught him the system. And he has really taken off with it.
Against a four-man twist. Howard again downfield and off target. Sinnott was the closest receiver who could have made a play on the ball.
Still they've got one timeout. I'm talking about Oklahoma State. You don't want to do anything here to give them a short field and a cheap 3 points.
What has plagued this K-State pass game today?
I think it's just, sometimes you're in rhythm and there are days when you just can't find it. And I think Will Howard he's having one of those days. You just hope you're good enough to get out of here with a win when you don't have your best stuff.
Final charge, time out of the half. Kansas State, 30 seconds.
So the Wildcats now out of timeouts. 3rd and 5, 17 seconds to go. You've got it across the 40. Howard has a big arm. What are you thinking here if you're Colin Klein, offensive coordinator for the Wildcats?
First order of business is to pick up the first down, and then you're going to call 2 plays, get to the line of scrimmage. You might even clock the very next play, but you've got to pick it up first and foremost.
Well, you can't clock it if you don't.
I'm saying if you get the first down, then you're at the line of scrimmage, and you can clock it after the first down.
K-State won its Big 12 opener against UCF. Sounds strange to say, but that is a conference game now. Oklahoma State lost its Big 12 opener to Iowa State. Howard under pressure and submerged.
Bradley Panzer is the guy that gives up the sack. And Jalil Johnson, who is
Final charge,
excellent
time out of the half. Oklahoma State,
pass rusher.
Seconds.
And now Mike Gundy thinking
to 11 seconds.
Stealing 3
seconds.
Before the half ends here with just 9 seconds. To force a punt, you're going to send everybody, I would imagine, to try to block this punt.
Now this was just 4-man pressure.
Yeah.
And Panzer got beat.
They talked about Johnson. He's just a redshirt freshman, but he's got pure ability and is a super, super special player that can really get after the quarterback. And we saw all those that Nardo told us about on that play, that last play.
11 seconds on the clock. Presley waits inside his own 25. Bloomer gets it off. And they kick it away and it rolls inside the 10. And Oklahoma State will likely take a kneel down to take it into halftime. It's been an impressive first half for the Cowboys here at home in Stillwater.
Tell you what, it really has been. You're right. I mean, you do anything other than kneel it down here, you're asking for trouble. So I'd have Alan Bowman just kneel this baby down. Let's get in the locker room, talk about how we're going to attack the second half when we get the football.
Really just one mistake by Oklahoma State. They gave up that 70-yard run to Will Howard that set up K-State's only score.
Is Coach Gundy trying to grow the mullet back?
I wonder if it
kind of looks like
name. He used to call it the Arkansas waterfall. Matt Barry would look good with a mullet. From Boone Pickens Stadium, ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks. First Friday home game for Oklahoma State since 19.
Really been the difference.
Out of the pistol, a high snap. There's Gordon, who had been averaging more than 5 yards per carry tonight, as we check in with Paul Carcaterra. All right, we'll get back to Kark having some mic issues. Off play action. Oh, they hand it off. And it's Gordon again, right back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up.
They are trying to control the line of scrimmage. There have been parts and times during this game in the first half that Kansas State looked really, really good, especially Austin Romaine, who as a true freshman has played, I thought, one heck of a first half. But it's just hasn't been enough and consistent enough.
Empty set. Here's a slant. It's Owens. And he has enough for a first down. Got to remember, Kansas State, without Jacob Parrish tonight, Will Lee, their other starting corner, got hurt in the first half. They are thin in the secondary right now. Bowman checks down. Gordon. He was hit initially by Austin Moore and then finished off by Mott. And a flag.
Illegal substitution. 12 men on the field to snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Can't stop them with 11, so they're trying to do it with 12. And it's been a clinic tonight in terms of the success that Oklahoma State's having on offense and Kansas State's lack of it on defense. But that last play, little tunnel screen here, and what makes the play is the ability of Rashad Owens to just get north and south right now. That's what got him the first down. You see so many receivers just sit there and try to throw moves. No, get up the field.
Owens has stepped up with Stribling out, and there's another slant, but incomplete for Bray. Let's check in with Kark.
Well, you thought you didn't have to deal with me with the rest of the night, Anish, but too bad. Well, anyway, Mike Gundy told me he knew this game would be won in the trenches, and he loves his team's physicality in the first half. He said the run game was good, not great, but with that in mind, they still had opportunities in the play-action pass, and defensively what stood out was the tackling and holding that Kansas State offense, specifically the pass game, to 11 yards, winning the leverage game.
Well, that's a word that both coaches used in describing what's needed to win, was being physical.
Good coverage downfield, and Bowman has to throw it away.
And then both talked about, Chris Kleiman and Mike Gundy, that, hey, whoever the more physical team is at the end of the night would be the team that wins the football game.
And think of that statement 5-6 years ago in this conference.
No,
you didn't say that
at all.
If you've watched Big 12 football, you've seen the influx of defensive coaches and coaches like Gundy who have now embraced that defensive component. The DNA of this league has changed.
It has tremendously.
Bowman lets it fly. Wants Owens juggling. He can't hold on.
Oh, I think it surprised Owens that it was on the money and it actually hit his hands. He was looking to throw him up at the last second, but just could not do it. Excellent coverage on the outside, but he still gets there. Should have been a catch.
Now, a lot of contact there with Garber. And Savage came in at the end. And now Hale will attempt a long field goal. This will be a 53-yarder.
Hit one against Iowa State a couple of weeks ago from this distance.
It would match a career high. Got
it. Excellent job with the snap, the hold, and the ball just stayed in the air for Alex Hale forever, right through Oklahoma State, extending their lead to 23-7.
Friday night, Stillwater, Oklahoma. Anish Shroff, Andre Ware, Paul Carcaterra with you. Oklahoma State coming off back-to-back losses to South Alabama at home, Iowa State on the road. They have a bye week, and they have taken it to defending Big 12 champion Kansas State so far.
Well, Nish, offensive lineman Cooper Beebe could have gone to the NFL after last season, but the opportunity to play with his younger brother, true freshman Camden, was a factor in him staying. Also, this past spring, instead of getting ready for the NFL Combine and pro team workouts, he was a student teacher in a local high school teaching American history. 6'4", 335 pounds, will have some command of the room, I would say.
Yeah, he's not sending anybody to detention because they're too afraid. Let's see if K-State can lean on this O-line a little. DJ Giddens with a nice pickup on first down. Look at the scoreboard. It's 23-7, but that's still a two-possession game. You don't have to abandon the run, do you?
No, you don't have to shake loose of your game plan quite yet, but you need to start putting points on the board here.
Howard trying to squeeze it into Sinnott. It's incomplete. Another third down. And Kansas State so far has struggled, just 1 of 6 on third down.
I've just been amazed at their ability to get off the field on third downs and the job that the Cowboys have done on defense all night.
Brooks in motion. He gets it on the jet sweep. And the one they call Uncle Phil, the 6th-year senior who just turned 24 recently, able to move the chains.
The field with a nice run there to pick up the first down and keep this drive alive for the Wildcats. Maybe you need to get the ball in his hands a little bit more. He is their main threat in the passing game. Just hasn't been busy enough this evening.
Giddens out across the 40. Brooks is one of 2 active FBS players with 1,000 receiving yards, 800 kick return yards, and 600 punt return yards. The other, Smoke Harris for Louisiana Tech. Ayton White is believed to have played more games in a Kansas State uniform than any other player. This is 58th game. Here comes Giddens, bouncing to the outside and into Oklahoma State territory, bumped out by Martin.
Well, that hole kind of resembled what he ran through against UCF a few weeks ago. He hadn't had a whole lot of room in which to run, but you can feel that he's starting to heat up a little bit. This offensive line starting to heat up themselves.
He had 200+ yards on 30 carries in the game against UCF. Howard's got time. He's got an open receiver. It's Sinnott, who powers inside the 20, the big tight end. That's the only touchdown of the game for Kansas State, picking up 29.
Well, he really understands coverages. And when you play zone coverage against Kansas State and a guy like Sinnott, he will make you pay because he's going to find the little spots to get open in.
And 4 receivers bunched to the boundary and then navigating the sideline. It's Giddens walking the tightrope.
What? That's pretty sweet with the feet right there. Make a miss, little drive by, and then get it started again.
Same formation again with the 4 receiver stack to the boundary. Howard throws to the field and incomplete. Wanted Jackson and gets the flag.
I think it's going to be on McKinney, DJ McKinney in coverage there. Maybe grabbed a hold of Jackson a little bit early. And they made it look like quarterback counter, and that was the play that Will Howard took off on and ran for 70 yards, but then he stopped, pulled up, and tried to hit Jackson on a slant route.
When you flood the short side of the field, what does that do to a defense?
Nelson player downfield, number 50. Pass interference. Defense, number 15.
Beebe
Penalties
for
offset.
ineligible man downfield.
Still second down.
But what it does is eye candy. Basically taking your eyes to one side of the formation, knowing that the offense knows that they're going to go back the other side. But you throw something over there as well. You can throw a pump fake, which you've already thrown at Giddens on first down. Come back with a pump fake and somebody releasing up the field.
Offsetting penalties. Giddens gets the call, and he's tripped up. Trey Rucker, the safety. His status for this game coming into the week was in question after he was arrested during the off week, but Mike Gundy said he's active until the process plays out.
I tell you what, the reaction time there for Rucker was special. And here's that bunch again at the top.
flags down.
Ball start. Offense. Number 73. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
I'm trying to make sure, Anish, that you get it in the end zone to keep it a 2-score game, because you can't start kicking field goals and catch up. So now going backwards, this is only their second possession tonight inside of Oklahoma State territory.
Christian Duffy called for the penalty today, his first start of the season. Reliable right tackle who had been hurt early in the year. Howard, under pressure, fires a bullet to the near sideline. It's a gain of 4 by Giddens. It's 4th down, and K-State looking to the sideline. No movement just yet.
He took a shot from Nathan Latu after completing that one.
4th and 8. Nobody from the special teams unit coming out on the field, and K-State at least lining up like they'll go for it.
They are coming. Everybody's coming here.
Bad snap. Oklahoma State football. Kansas State turns it over on downs.
Rough night for Hayden Gillum. A couple of penalties and then a bad snap from the center. And Oklahoma State having all things go their way, up 23-7.
Oh my! Pandemonium is show.
It is the Big 12 on ESPN, and Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, a must-have for Big 12 fans. More than 500 live games, exclusive content, original shows, 11 men's and women's sports highlighted, select conference tournament events as well. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com/Big12 now. Chris Kleiman, 4th and 8, electing to go for it. Still a lot of time left instead of kicking the field goal and taking the point.
Yeah, it's tough because if you stop them, you got them pinned down in the 15-yard line or so.
And now Ollie Gordon breaks one. And he picks up about 15 on the play.
He has been big for this running game of Oklahoma State. Dalton Cooper with a nice block to open things up for Gordon. He's washing everything down inside, and there goes Gordon into the open field.
Andre, that's probably about 3 times tonight where he has had a chasm to run through.
Yeah, I mean, you could literally drive a truck through that hole.
Even your truck?
Even mine.
Gordon the other way, stiff arm. Down the sideline, staying in bounds, and he gets close to the 10-yard line. Ollie Gordon, north of 100 yards for the 3rd time this season.
What an effort by Ollie Gordon. Here, a nice job again by Dalton Cooper opening things up along the left side. And then it's just grit and determination from Ollie Gordon, making guys miss, keeping his balance, challenging defenders. What a play.
Oh, hang on.
They're saying maybe he stepped out of bounds around the 18, but
yeah, right there.
Still one heck of an effort.
So they back him up to the 18-yard line. 111 yards on 15 carries for Gordon. They feed him again. Why not? And Ollie inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Sophomore from Fort Worth. He's a power back. First few games of the season, I said he had his 3rd 100-yard game. It's his 2nd back-to-back games with 100 yards. First few games, he was in a timeshare. They were figuring out the quarterback position. They were figuring out the running back position. Had the big game against Iowa State. He has shined tonight. Now Elijah Collins, wrangled by Payne and Savage. 3rd down coming up. Collins began his career at Michigan State, almost ran for 1,000 yards way back in 2019. Then 2020 got COVID, was never really healthy. 2021, this guy Kenneth Walker emerged from Michigan State.
Pretty good player.
Yeah.
And this is a good power back in terms of Elijah Collins, who just gets downhill in a hurry. They're going to bring Gordon right back in the game. He just needed a little bit of a rest.
Kenneth Walker was the Doak Walker Award winner that year, and then Gordon, as he checks back in for Collins. And we will get a timeout.
First charge, timeout of the half. Oklahoma State, immediate timeout.
Cowboys threatening again. Tonight's player spotlight is brought to you by Cracker Barrel. Ollie Gordon now has put together back-to-back 100-yard rushing games.
He's done one heck of a job tonight in terms of controlling things on the ground and with the offensive line. You got to credit them. Whenever he's doing his thing, you know it's happening up front, because we've called Dalton Cooper's name a bunch in the second half.
Jaden Nixon is the running back. Bowman moves the pocket, dumps it off, and he finds his tight end, who is blown up immediately. That was Braden Cassidy, really the tight end H-back there.
DJ Payne with one heck of a tackle. You got to see the hairstyle of Cassidy.
Oh, he's got some flow. Clark knows during the pandemic I had some flow going. There comes Alex Hale. He's hit 3 today. 53-yarder last time. This from 31 is good. So 4 field goals for Hale, and that makes it a 3-possession game now with 4:47 left in the third.
When you sit and you wait and read just how bad this Oklahoma State team is, how they're struggling, they're not, you know, like they've been in past years, and so on and so forth, and you come in here and maybe take them a little bit lightly. They're playing some football tonight.
Last year, in a game that turned the fortunes of 2 teams, Kansas State at home against Oklahoma State. At the time, the Cowboys were a top 10 team. K-State won 48-0. Worst loss of Mike Gundy's head coaching tenure in Stillwater. Kansas State gets on a roll. Will Howard taking over for the injured Adrian Martinez. They go and win a Big 12 championship. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State, after a strong start to the season, that game began a skid where they lost 5 of their last 6 and then 2 of their first 4 this year, and lost a number of players and key players in the transfer portal. Kick goes out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Number 69, the kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Our next UFC fight is on ESPN Plus tomorrow night from the Apex in Vegas, highlighted by a lightweight main event. Rising star Grant Dawson. He's lost just once in his career. Takes on the king, Bobby Green. Andre, you're not the only king out there, man. Prelims start 4 Eastern, followed by the main card at 7.
I'm going with the king in that one. Mr. Green.
Giddens, meanwhile, Andre not ready to concede a TKO. Picks up 14. And if Kansas State can run like that, you can still stay with the run here.
You can, but you've got to move the football and score big if you decide to do that.
Downfield, that's caught by Brooks. And he's out of bounds into Oklahoma State territory, a pickup of 16.
Excellent throw and catch from Will Howard to Phillip Brooks. I mentioned it earlier, he is their main target as a receiver. You just need to get him a little more involved in the passing game tonight.
That was his first catch of the night. He's 5th all-time in career receptions at K-State. Giddens up the gut, met by Martin after a pickup of 2.
Giddens has that ball a little bit loose, carrying it loosely away from his body. You get in a crowded area, that second hand needs to go over it to keep guys from poking at it or a helmet landing on it and the ball squirting free.
Trayshawn Ward, grad transfer from Florida State, into the game in the backfield.
K-State sub, so it gives Oklahoma State the opportunity to do the same.
Ward inside the 30, give him 4. Ward began his career with the Seminoles as a walk-on, a non-scholarship player for his first 2 seasons in Tallahassee, and then over his last 2 seasons put up 1,100 plus yards and 11 touchdowns.
He seems to have a burst. I'll try to get him the football out in space, some screens and a swing pass, maybe an angle route, but get him the ball on the move out in space.
Brooks with the motion, the give is to Ward. And he's got a first down for Kansas State.
Nice job up front. Gillum, Panzer, Beebe, the 3 guys on the inside, finding some traction here on this drive.
Incomplete. Wanted Swanson, the tight end.
I don't know what it is about that number, 83. I just like it on the receiver. Lewis Lips, I think, Ward for the Pittsburgh Steelers when I was growing up. Really liked the number. Patrick Cooper wore it when I was at the University of Houston. I think we had an 83 when I was in high school in Dickinson.
You didn't throw it much anyway, though, right?
I would think about it. No, not hardly at all in high school.
There's Brooks. That's what Mike Gundy talked about, tackling in space. And there is Epps, who has been superb tonight.
Had 10 tackles a week ago. I think it's fair to say he's had a better ball game tonight. Maybe not in the tackling department. That was a big tackle in the open field, but certainly with the 2 turnovers and House in one of them.
Epps preventing a first down, so it's 3rd and 1. 2 tight ends into the game. Brooks now motions. Howard keeps it. Tripped up by Rucker. And is going to be, let's see where they spot this. And they're saying 4th down. It's going to be a little short.
Just shy of it.
Yeah, it looks like Brooks missed his assignment blocking.
If Brooks gets a block there on Rucker, then Howard has the first down easily. He got caught just kind of catnapping and watching.
Now this could be the ball game here. 4th down. A minute to go. 3rd quarter.
Coming behind Beebe.
Ward moves the chains.
Well, when you get down into crunch time, you know they're going left with Cooper Beebe, their best offensive lineman, interior lineman, that's for sure. So you need a yard, a half yard, that's where you're going.
There is an injured Oklahoma State player, and it's Xavier Benson, one of the linebackers. Cowboys today without Lyric Rawls on defense. Offensively, no Dejon Stribling, but it hasn't really impacted their pass game a whole lot.
And I know Brian Nardo, Anish, is hoping that Xavier Benson can get himself back in the game because he is one of their best blitzers. They love to bring him in pressure situations. He's one of 2 defensive players to start every game last season. He started every one of them this year.
Here's Ward. Big hole. Bounces to the outside. Touchdown, K-State.
Oh, and the move that he threw on Cameron Epps. He's had an outstanding game, but he just could not stay with Treshaun Ward. One heck of a move. Got him to bite on an inside move, and just the speed to get lateral and then right up the field is just too much for Cameron Epps. Thinking about going for it here.
Now,
obviously,
they're backing up. There's a flag down.
After the play was over. unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 9 of the offense. That foul will be enforced on the kickoff. That's number 9's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
Got to keep your head in that situation. Where were we? We saw a celebration that essentially cost the team a ball game. That was at Virginia a couple weeks ago. When you're trying to go for 2 here, you got to do it when they off the kick. You'll get to run the play here, but on the kickoff, that'll be you're gonna have to do it backed up.
This to make it 26-15. Jackson in motion. Howard will keep it, and he's in, so the 2-point conversion is good. And Kansas State now down by 11. 17 seconds to go in the third.
Nice job by Sennett and his block off the edge. Bring him all the way across and kind of, it's not a knockout block, but just enough to get Will Howard into the end zone.
17 seconds to go. 26-15. And now, Andre, think about earlier in this quarter, 4th down and 8. Kansas State elects to go for it when they could have kicked a field goal. Had they done that, it's a 1-score game if that field goal is good. Instead, bad snap. Oklahoma State takes over, and it's the Cowboys who went down the field and ended up kicking a field goal.
Yeah, with that penalty on Ward, now it's going to back Kansas State up, and any type of positive return is going to give Oklahoma State excellent field position. And that's what we saw that was the difference in that Virginia game. So, going in for a score after the score, and then we had this exact same situation which wound up costing Virginia the ball game.
Yeah, a couple of Fridays ago, NC State was the team that took advantage of a short field on a kickoff. Nixon. To about the 40-yard line. Ollie Gordon, 16 carries for $116 today, averaging better than 7 a pop.
Yeah, he has been magical for this Oklahoma State rushing attack. First opening drive, got him into the end zone, and then he's been running wild ever since. Big gaping holes, both sides of the offensive line doing their job to open things up for Ollie Gordon. Well, he has just been magical, and that probably was his best run of the evening. That last highlight.
Jaden Nixon comes into the game at running back. And Nixon gets the call. Cannot wiggle out of the backfield. It's a loss of a yard. And that will take us into the 4th quarter. Oklahoma State looking to get its first conference win of the season. Kansas State looking to win in Stillwater for the first time in the Chris Klieman era.
I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother level. Legendary status, no one does it better, so pay attention, eyes on me. Whoa, pay attention, watch and see. Did I mention I like the attention? Watch it right now, watch it right now. Watch it right now. Hello, blue skies, no trim moonlights, touch of sunshine. Come along for the ride, goodbye.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty. Now, get 2.99% APR for 60 months or up to $1,500 total savings on the Tucson. See your local Hyundai dealer today.
Coach, why has Ollie Gordon been so successful in the run game?
Well, I think he's doing a good job of getting downhill, and we've covered guys up a little bit, which has helped. We've been able to throw the ball down the field some, which helps with the running game just a little bit.
What's the point of emphasis defensively down the stretch?
Well, we've got to try to get to the quarterback a little bit And then they're doing a good job on the down blocking schemes and pulling. We got to rally to that a little bit quicker, try to get them shut down in the run, and then find a way to get to the quarterback on third down.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
The fourth quarter starts with an incompletion, and it's 3rd down and 11 now. Ollie Gordon into the game at running back. Alan Bowman just 2 for 6 in the second half. Wildcats bring 4. Bowman over the middle. He's got Presley, and he cyclones to the 45-yard line, well shy of the marker, so 4th down.
Is that the answer to the shallow cross? A little zone coverage and dropping out on each side of the tackle box, because essentially the receivers come right to the zone defender. And nice job there by Kansas State. You saw that they wanted to go to Presley on the shallow cross again. They've been successful with it all night.
The dangerous Phillip Brooks awaits the West Powell punt. And a fair catch is made inside the 20. Kansas State football down 11. Still plenty of time in Stillwater. College football primetime presented by Ram Trucks. Kansas State takes over inside its own 20, down by 11. One of the big plays in this game was the Cameron Epps interception. His second pick was a pick 6, and it came right before halftime. Out of an empty set, Will Howard to the air. Down the seam for Sinnott, and he can't get there.
Boy, Sinnott pulled up, didn't think he was going to get the ball, and then all of a sudden Will Howard goes there. If he would have just kept running, he runs right through the ball, just throttled down just enough. After he gets past the defender, he slows down, and then he's got to try to get it going again, and is about a half yard from making one of the biggest plays in this game for Kansas State.
Instead of 2nd and 10. Howard keeps it. Turns the corner and sets up a 3rd and about 4.
And it took everything he had to get away from Xavier Benson, the linebacker who was out of this game the last series, but good to see him back on the field.
Coming into the game, Kansas State fired at 54% on 3rd down. Tonight, 3 for 10. On the fly sweep. Brooks did not get the blocking on the perimeter, and it's 4th down. Cameron Epps again.
Boy, everything about Oklahoma State's defense coming into this game told you they're going to give up a bunch of points. They're going to get hit over the top. One of their best cover men,
and Andre, they're going to go for it,
is out of the game, and they're going for it here on 4th down because they know there are very few opportunities left in terms of possessing the ball.
4th and 3, over the middle through the hands of Giddens, and Oklahoma State will take over at the 26-yard line of K-State.
And Anish, every quarterback has got to know his personnel. You throw a bullet to DJ Giddens at close range, not going to handle it. Couldn't handle it, and now it's Oklahoma State's ball with great field position to start their drive at about the 26-yard line or so.
What did you make of the call to go for it?
Okay with the call.
From inside your 30?
But, yeah, you've got to run something a little more sound than that. It looked like Giddens slipped coming out of the backfield, and he had a 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming at him. There's no way for him to get his hands up in time.
You wonder, does Chris Kleiman believe that this defense can keep Oklahoma State out of the end zone? They've got 4 field goals, only 1 offensive touchdown, but Ollie Gordon Gets all the way to the 11-yard line, picking up 15 more. He's over $130 on the ground.
Boy, he right in line with some backs that have played here at Oklahoma State. He's having one heck of a night. They've just produced running back after running back. Just the skill position players that have come out of this school is amazing. And he is right in line to do something special with just being a sophomore.
Mike Gundy played with a couple of them. You played with one of them.
Played against a couple of them, too.
Bowman to the end zone. Wants Bray. Back shoulder. Incomplete. No flag.
We're trying to go to the big-bodied receiver and Jaden Bray, working against the smaller corner in Garber, who has fought and battled all night long.
Kansas State without its top two cornerbacks, and again a field goal here keeps it a two-possession game. Low snap on the ground, and that's Presley. It'll set up a third down.
You've seen that motion all night long where he goes around the quarterback and then kind of comes back. Well, there they run a counter with it and give it to him. Kind of setting that thing up from the start of the game pretty much.
Now Oklahoma State can still get a first down. They've got to get to the one, but it almost feels goal to go.
Yeah, and they're okay with kicking a field goal here.
Bowman rolling to his right. Eyes up. Nowhere to go.
Smart thing. Run out of room, throw it away. Let's kick the field goal. Get some points.
Well, here comes Alex Hale attempting his 5th field goal. He's nailed 4, and as we mentioned earlier, from Australia, never played football growing up, was a world champion wake skater, and he told me about his journey. He said it was unorthodox, with many sports combining with what he does now, and how all those sports gave him a trial and error approach to start something new.
He is going for his 5th field goal of the night. It's good. 6 field goal attempts. Maybe that was part of Chris Kleiman's calculus. Faith that his defense could keep this a 2-score game.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Ram Trucks.
Mike Gundy, when he played at Oklahoma State, handed off to Barry Sanders. And so did Andre Ware when he played with the Detroit Lions.
It's like I'm a little late there with that handoff. I'm holding up progress right there.
He still probably turned that into 5 yards.
Yeah, he might have housed it.
Barry Sanders and Thurman Thomas, the same backfield, and Barry, 1988, put together, in my opinion, the greatest season by a running back in the history of college football.
There's no doubt about it.
He preceded you as the Heisman winner. You were 89, he was 88. And you faced Mike Gundy and Barry Sanders.
Took a whipping too, a butt kicking that I'll never forget. And he's been a real, he's been nice about it.
Saturday, we'll have the 119th annual Red River rivalry game. Both Oklahoma and Texas 5-0. Texas has been able to run the football this year. Jonathan Brooks, leading rusher in the Big 12. Last year, Texas won 49-zip. Oklahoma, though, was without Dylan Gabriel, who had a concussion and was sidelined. Kansas State gets out to the 30-yard line with Giddens. 11.5 to play, fourth quarter, still a 2-score game. And Oklahoma State's done a lot right tonight, but in the red zone, 5 trips, only 1 touchdown.
Yeah, just can't seem to get on the scoreboard when they get there, unless it's a field goal.
Howard over the middle, and Sinnott can't bring it in with one arm. In coverage, DJ McKinney.
I haven't seen Will Howard struggle like this. You break out a bunch of film, you watch him, he seems, to know this offense like the back of his hand, successful every time he touches the field. Tonight, you just have one of those games and he just can't shake it or get himself going on the right path.
Well, you get the sense now this is 4-down territory the way Chris Kleiman's played it. Howard looking for Giddens, gets free. And he gets out to about the 45, a gain of 14. He had 8 catches in his last game against UCF when he totaled 38 touches and 40 targets on Kansas State's 82 plays.
It's tough to bring down in the open field because of that size that he has.
Back to the air, back to the sticks, first down, and then some. That's Keegan Johnson, the Iowa transfer, a pickup of 20.
Ooh, he took a shot before going out of bounds. Not sure who it was, but somebody gave him a nice kiss going out of bounds. Like it was Trey Rucker, one of the safeties for Oklahoma State.
Kansas State subbed, so you got to give Oklahoma State time to sub. Howard to the sideline off the hands of Brooks.
These receivers at Kansas State, you've got to run routes full speed all the time. And I saw Sennett pull up. I saw that one with Brooks kind of coasting into his route and then had to try to hit the gas to go get it. If you're already on the gas, then let me slow you down. Don't make me have to speed you up with it or ask you to speed up. I don't know how many times I've said that as an AAU basketball coach.
This is a design quarterback run, and Howard only got a yard. We have called Nicholas Martin's name quite a bit. He's got close to 15 tackles tonight. And for Will Howard, pedestrian numbers tonight. Last year against Oklahoma State, he played the best game of his career.
Just 50%. He came into this thing completing 65% of his passes. It's Will Howard-like.
Again, 4-down territory from here. Howard on the keeper. Inside the 10. And a touchdown saving a tackle by Cam Smith.
And that's one thing that he has done well tonight. And that's pull it down and run with it. A 70-yarder, and then he comes back with this thing, with this one. Excellent job if you can get Big Gillum out in front to just throw a block on somebody.
That's a gain of 29. Howard again gets a block from Sennett, and he's in for 6.
I really like Sennett as a player. Somebody on Sunday is going to get a really good football player when they get number 34. What a heck of a block to help his quarterback get into the end zone.
Now, Andre, analytics tells you to go for 2 in this spot.
Let's take a look at this block by Sennett first. It's all quarterback run, but just a nice little kick out block. Make a little hole. Got away with one. Make sure the defender couldn't turn around and make a play on the quarterback, but it's only speeding if you get pulled over.
Kansas State will go for 2, and this is straight from the analytics playbook. Little trickeration. Wide receiver pass. And incomplete. So the conversion fails. And here is the simple math behind that decision. The idea is you're down 2 scores, you get a score. If you don't get the 2, next time out, touchdown and a 2, you tie the game. If you do get the 2 here, your win probability goes up considerably. Oklahoma State on top of Kansas State. Andre was told there would be no math, but math is now involved.
Always when you're keeping score.
And this kick goes out of bounds, so Oklahoma State will get it at the 35.
Free kick out of bounds. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Oklahoma State.
Sports Center follows our game. John Buccigross, Nicole Briscoe in our Bristol headquarters. They'll preview week 6 of the college football season. Yes, including Oklahoma and Texas. And at the halfway point,
what you have to stop and savor in this college football season, plus an inside look at Niners-Cowboys, the marquee matchup of Week 5. It's all coming up next here on ESPN and on the app. So, again, Chris Klieman's decision to go for 2 after that last score. The idea is if you have a 1 and 2 shot of getting a 2-point conversion, if you get it the first time when you're down 14, now if you get a stop, you get the ball back and you score a touchdown and kick the extra point, instead of tying the game, you would win the game. And if you don't get it, like K-State did not get it, well, if probability works out and you got a 1 and 2 chance of getting the 2-point conversion, the idea is you'd get it the next time and now you're playing for a tie.
He has been around this game a whole lot longer than we have as well. He has been in these situations before. He knows his team, what to trust, in terms of the defense and so on and so forth. So there's a method to what he's doing.
None of that matters if Oklahoma State scores a touchdown here or a field goal to make it a 2-score game. Ollie Gordon got a couple of yards, so 3rd and 8 coming up. The Cowboys have run it well today, 179 yards on the ground against a defense that was top 10 nationally against the run coming into the game.
And Gordon went out briefly, but he was like, hey, I've worked too hard to let somebody else steal some carries from me, so I'm going right back in the game. It was Elijah Collins who came in, had one play, and then all of a sudden it was Gordon right back on the field.
Rashad Owens having a career night in motion. Bowman's throw, it's caught, it's a first down. Brennan Presley, a gain of 14. That's the biggest pass play of the night. It keeps the drive alive.
A heck of a catch by Presley as well, because it looked as though at the end of the route he was slipping and the ball was on its way. Like he stumbled and just kind of caught his balance right as the ball arrived, snagged it, and then stepped out of bounds with a first down.
K-State down 2 corners. Bowman and Oklahoma State will milk some clock. Now a shot downfield. He had an open receiver, and Presley stopped running.
Oh, he saw the ball thrown about 10 yards out of bounds over his head. If he drives it to Presley, you got a shot at it. But he put so much air under it, there was no way. And I think the thought process for Bowman was just throw it away and come back on 2nd down. He's not holding on to the ball. He's not taking sacks. He's not giving Kansas State an opportunity to get hits on him. He's played a smart game.
17 of 33, 224, no picks. Gordon does not get far. 3rd down.
And this is where, if you're Kansas State, you've really got to be big here, because you don't want to give up enough yards to where Mike Gundy thinks about going for it on 4th and short.
Bowman backs into the gun. Delayed pressure. Quick throw. It's complete. Presley trying to get to the 39. And he's going to be about a yard shy. And Andre, you're of the belief. You tipped your hand. Go for it.
Yeah, go for it right here. And the way you've run the football with Gordon for most of the evening, there's no doubt that's who I'm going to put the ball. I'm going to put it in his hands.
Gordon tonight 133 yards on the ground, 3 shy of a career high. 2 tight ends. Now Bowman quickly under center. It's a hard count. They have not snapped it.
He's going to take a penalty and punt it away, or call the timeout. They called it.
Second charge. Timeout of the half. Oklahoma State. Media timeout.
4th and 1 for the Cowboys. 5:22 to go. A decision for Mike Gundy. Fourth down and 1 after the timeout. Oklahoma State brings its offense out on the field. Ball on the 40-yard line. They need the 39 for a first down. Bowman is in the shotgun. Now they get the tight end under center, and Josiah Johnson sneaks ahead, and he looks to have, let's see, it depends on the spot. Hang on.
It's going to be really close.
On the initial push, it looked like maybe, and then when the referee came from the far sideline, he had to get the 39. He did not. Now, if you're Oklahoma State, are you trying to challenge the spot? Let's see if they look at the spot. Johnson needed the 39. He gets the push.
The previous play is under further review.
They will look at this upstairs. And these spot plays, Andre, from what we've seen in the past, and I'll bring in Matt Austin. Matt, so often these are the toughest plays to overturn.
Yeah, they really are, because one, you need a shot right down the line to be able to tell, and you need to be able to see the football in relation to the line. And with the massive bodies like this, I haven't seen a shot yet that shows everything that you're going to need to see to make a change.
That's a great point, Matt, because that's exactly what I was looking for in the replay, was where's the football? And from the time he takes the snap, you cannot find it. He doesn't get enough push to get him well past what would be the 40-yard line. So I'm not sure he got to the 39, and without any clear indication of the football where he would be, or where it would be, it's just not enough to change it.
The line to gain was the 39. You see Gordon coming in, the push from the backside. Johnson, the tight end, taking the snap. And Johnson, by the way, was a high school quarterback. In fact, he was a backup quarterback
to Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, with the Patriots. It's a good point. Spent 5 years at UMass before transferring for a super senior season here to Oklahoma State.
Matt, I have yet to see anything that would overturn this call.
I agree. I think they're going to have let this call stand.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. The runner was short of the line of the game. First down, KC.
And the verbiage there stands. So it was not confirmed, which tells you if it was called the other way first, that would have been the default call if they looked at it. But Kansas State, Andre, we've seen this now a couple of times on the goal line. Oklahoma State at goal to go. K-State got a stop, ended up blocking a field goal. Now on 4th and 1, they get the stop, and the Wildcats, with all 3 timeouts at 5:17 to go, down by 8, take over at their own 40-yard line.
We are set for another fantastic finish. You see the stats there for Will Howard. 12 of 24, 50% on the night.
Brooks, the motion man. Howard looking for Giddens too high.
You know, Will Howard is built for moments like this. Keep in mind, he sat behind Skylar Thompson earlier in his career and Adrian Martinez last year prior to his injury. He told me this week every bone in his body wanted to leave and test the portal, but he loved this program too much. His teammates, his coaches, for their honesty and staying the course has made him so much more mentally strong.
And a better player. Just developed into a really good quarterback.
Giddens ran into a mass of black. Got a couple. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And it's impressive. Guys that stay, they get rewarded for staying, like Will Howard and the job that he's done at Kansas State. So many times, it's not used. A lot of times, it's not even the kid. It's parents, it's relatives. Hey, you ought to transfer to such and such. And I'd say, hey, let the young man make that decision, because he's living it every day.
That's going to be a first down. Brooks still going. And into Oklahoma State territory, a gain of 25.
You see why Brooks is so dynamic when they get the ball into his hands. Makes a guy miss, accurately thrown, and then you always spin outside, Anish, away from incoming traffic.
Why?
Because that's where headaches come from. You spin inside, it's trouble.
Giddens getting spun around in the backfield.
Wow.
And then finally taken down for a loss of 2. Nicholas Martin, number 4, has been in on seemingly every other play for Oklahoma State.
Even Giddens at the end of that it looked as though he was surprised the whistle hadn't been blown yet. 16 tackles for Nicholas Martin. He has had some kind of game.
Out of an empty set, Howard spins away from trouble and flushes it out of bounds.
You got instant pressure from one of the Cowboys, and then Colin Clay shows up afterwards and forced that throw away. Now 3rd down and 12, and it is 2 down territory. You're trying to get, 4 down territory. You're trying to get at least half of this back to go for it on 4th down.
Giddens goes wide. Howard steps up. His pass intercepted. It's Martin, the pick. 16 tackles, an INT, and a flag on the back end of the play.
See what this flag is all about. But what a play by Martin. You talk about 16 tackles, and then you round it out with an interception.
Return, personal foul, illegal blindside block. It's number 92 of the return team. 15 yards from spotted foul. First down, Oklahoma State.
There's Martin, and just reads this thing perfectly. He's going to pick up Sennett. Ball's going there, and he's just reading the eyes of the quarterback the entire time. And Will Howard stayed on Sennett. That's his, has been his go-to most of this game. He, along with Phillip Brooks, he chose Sennett then, and I tell you what, Nicholas Martin did one heck of a job of stepping in front of that one.
That's a Friday night. Now, Kansas State does have all 3 timeouts. Not over yet. High snap, Bowman corrals it. Chased from the backside, and he'll lose about 2 or 3.
Now Kansas State's in a situation where they've got to start burning timeouts to save as much time as they possibly can to maybe force a punt, and they get one more shot at this thing.
Bowman salvaged what could have been disastrous.
Yes, that's a good point. So that goes over his head. Well, we got a lot of fireworks.
Kansas State last won in Stillwater in 2017. Back then they beat a top 10 Oklahoma State team. Last year, K-State beat Oklahoma State 48-0. That was in Manhattan. 70th meeting all time.
They surely weren't going to let that happen tonight. Not the way they came out, played, and the effort that this Cowboy team has given on both sides of the ball.
Ollie Gordon got back to about the original line of scrimmage and then maybe a half yard. Timeout Wildcats. They've got 1 left. It's 3rd and long with 3:15.
Gordon has had some game there in traffic, covering the ball up with 2 hands, making sure it doesn't get popped out and end up on the turf.
There's a lot of time left.
Yeah.
So if you're Oklahoma State, you're throwing it here on 3rd down?
I think so. I think you certainly can, but I'm going to be, I'm not you tell Bowman, don't be late going over the middle. As well, I would move him because he's athletic enough to where you move him, and maybe you can run him or you give him the option of throwing it. But I would not sit him in the pocket and maybe subject him to being blindsided.
Owens in motion. K-State rushes forward. Bowman stands in. Owens on the drag route. And he did not get much, only a couple of yards. It's 4th down.
A little shallow cross, but the answer has been zone coverage.
Kansas State uses its final timeout.
30 seconds.
So the Wildcats get the stop. They'll get the ball back. Remember, once that clock gets to 2 minutes, you go back to the old college football rules, and the clock will stop momentarily on a 1st down.
You got to feel pretty good if you're Brian Nardo, Mike Gundy, about how this defense is played. But there's still playmakers across the field from you, and guys like Phillip Brooks, Ben Sinnott, Giddens. They're all capable of putting one in the end zone.
And the guy waiting to return the punt has 4 punt return touchdowns, Phillip Brooks. Brooks has nowhere to go. 40-yard punt, no return. 3 minutes even remain in regulation. Kansas State ball. They need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, it takes some courage to do what he did, knowing that you're going to get hit. Guys are bearing down on you at full speed, and you got to catch it knowing that, and then not give it up. Boy, that's not an easy job.
Parker Robertson made the special teams tackle. Will Howard now, the quarterback for K-State. This was the first time in his career with the Wildcats he went into the season as the clear-cut #1 QB. 13 of 28 tonight, 133, a touchdown, 3 picks. Underneath, he's got Giddens. And a pickup of 8, 2nd down and 2. Clock will run. Kansas State out of timeouts.
Yeah, this is basically the 2-minute drill for Kansas State. You need a drive starter. That's a pretty good one to get this thing going.
Complete. It's Keegan Johnson trying to get out of bounds.
He does, I think.
A gain of 11, and it stops the clock with 2:34.
With the 1st down. Plenty of time here. Kansas State operating without timeouts. And when and if they do score, you got to go for 2.
Now the clock starts on the official snap. Pocket collapsing. Howard down the seam, incomplete for Sinnott.
I don't know if there was an injury to KT Leviston or not, but they bounced Cooper Beebe out to left tackle. And in the game, Panzer is now the left guard. They've kind of reshuffled the deck up front with Beebe out at left tackle. Now, he started his career as a tackle, so he's comfortable out there, but he's been inside most of this year at guard.
They have bumped him outside a few times this year due to injuries. Howard launches deep downfield.
What an effort by Garcia.
Intended for Garcia. Guess who was in coverage, Andre?
I can only imagine. Cameron Epps, maybe? Number 7 on the back end in coverage against R.J. Garcia. And nice job there by Epps, who's had an outstanding game in his own right. Both he and Nicholas Martin. You can kind of circle both names for co-MVPs of the night.
3rd down and 10. 4-man rush. Howard steps up. Over the middle, incomplete. Wanted Giddens. He was covered by Martin. It's 4th down with 2:03 to go, and this is the ball game.
Boy, touch passes have been his Achilles heel most of this night, and it's to Giddens. And a guy that you just want to touch that one, just a little bit of flick of the wrist, to where he can catch it easily and run. But if you throw it hard, there's no way he's going to come down with a catch.
Wildcats 1 out of 3 on 4th down tonight. Giddens goes wide. 4-man rush. Incomplete. Batted down.
Colin Oliver.
Oklahoma State takes over. The defense comes through again.
Nice job. Kind of been waiting on him. He's the team's best defender, but he's been quiet. Excellent pass rusher, and all Colin Klein talked about. I'm like, who over there concerns you? It's number 30. Everybody's talking about number 30 and Colin Oliver.
And the guy he beat there to get his hand up was Beebe.
Cooper Beebe. Well, that was one heck of a matchup. The two of them going at it. And Beebe at left tackle and Colin Oliver on the line of scrimmage right across from him.
Kansas State cannot stop the clock.
With 3 big interceptions tonight for this Oklahoma State defense. 2 came by way of Cameron Epps right in the middle of the field. Then on the sideline, he steps in front of one, decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put this one in the end zone. And then it's Nicholas Martin with great coverage on the Swiss Army knife player and Ben Sinnott for the 3rd one. And it's just Anish taken down under 5 seconds. Snap the football. 2 more or 1 more, and it ought to be just about over.
What did we learn about Oklahoma State tonight?
I think don't read what's printed, and pay attention and watch the film, because this is still a good program with a good leader in Mike Gundy, good players that will, you got to button up and play when you come in here, certainly, or when you play Oklahoma State anywhere.
This was a team that just a few weeks back lost convincingly at home to South Alabama. Tonight, they knock off the reigning Big 12 champions, 29-21, Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy's taken this program to 17 straight bowl games. They have been a model of consistency, not just in the Big 12, but in college football. 31 new scholarship players this year. 50 new players overall in the program, which is why he decided to operate like an NFL team in the preseason, those first 3. A lot of players playing 3 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, receivers all over the place. And he figured out, okay, this is the pecking order. Now we're going to play. And